Hey smokers, Drago1 here, and today we're going to be investigating the music from Hot Wheels Mechanix. Not to be confused with Hot Wheels Velocity X. That's a whole other video. Hot Wheels Mechanix is a Hot Wheels racing and car customization game by Mattel, All Games and THQ. This game is so obscure and unknown that it doesn't even have a Wikipedia page, just a footnote in the Hot Wheels article. I played the game when I was a kid, and I liked the music. It seems like that's the only criteria for making a video like this now, so let's get started. I originally got this game from my friend in elementary school. Well, in reality, he let me borrow it, and then I just burned a copy of it. And the burned copy is the only copy I still have of the game. The game installs, and it's small as hell. The full game on the CD is only 80 megabytes. Installed, it's only 69. The hell? It's way smaller than Lego Island, has better graphics, and has a full soundtrack? We'll have to investigate this. But first, some backstory. I didn't mention this in the other soundtrack videos, even though it was super relevant, but I'll say it now. I used to manually stereo mix, record video game soundtracks in their entirety. If I was a kid today, I'd be one of those YouTube channels that uploads nothing but video game soundtracks. I recorded the entire soundtracks of Lego Racers, Tonic Trouble, Hot Wheels Stunt Track Driver 1 and 2, and probably a few others I totally forgot about. And, oh yeah, Hot Wheels Mechanix. I was a dumbass though and recorded them in random formats. The Tonic Trouble one was MP3 while the Stunt Track Driver one was in WMA or some shit, I don't know. Well, back to investigation, I guess. This is an easy one. All the music files are in OMT format, and they're all small as balls. Just slightly bigger than the Lego Racers music tracks. And if we raw import, let's say Music 7, which is probably the asteroid belt music that I really like. Wait, what's with songs about asteroids being really good? Anyway, we don't really even have to try. Importing with default settings gives us music right off the bat, and no ear rape or distortion to speak of. But, as we very quickly find out, they used the Lego Island strategy. They lowered the sampling rate to 11,025 samples per second. Exactly the same as Lego Island. Guess they took a page out of their playbook. Or this was just some common practice. Except they did it 4 years later. If you look at the first few bytes of any one of these files, it just looks like a WAV file. Well, that was too damn easy. Almost like the game itself. You know, I'd almost want to review this game if it wasn't so damn bland. You really have to be asleep to lose at this game. Once you get some upgrades, your car becomes so OP that it makes it impossible to lose. You know, if you have a pulse, that is. This game is so easy that I beat the final level with one of the lowest horsepower starter cars with no upgrades, and I overlapped 2 cars in the process on my first try. Like, seriously? I mean, I will admit this is probably the most intensity and tension I ever have experienced playing this game. But the real stress probably came from not wanting to record it a second time if I lost. And it's a real letdown that this is as hard as it gets. And that the game is so short. Wait, what the hell is going on? Damn, this is like really sad. Wait, the gradient on that text looks awfully familiar. Oh god! I guess it has some interesting, memorable environments. But not really. And the car physics, at least back then, felt somewhat realistic. But they're not. I guess after playing Stunt Track Driver, it made me feel like I was playing a big boys game this time. But I wasn't. The object physics were a bit lacking in realism. But I really wouldn't have it any other way. Because my greatest memory of this game was ramming the ever-loving hell out of the hot dog stand in the beach level. My friend and I probably laughed for a good 45 minutes at this damn thing. And good God, it was great. I can still feel the pain in my stomach from laughing all those years ago. I keep wanting to tell this hot dog story all the time, and it makes me feel like I'm going around saying, "Ask me about my wiener!" But the mystery is not over yet. This music exists in higher quality. How do I know this? Well, one day, a good 11 years ago, I was watching some random YouTube video about a machine that automatically scares birds away from a pool. And it played the victory music from Hot Wheels Mechanix, except it was in way higher quality than in the actual game. Teenage me was like, what? So I left a comment on the video and got a reply. referring me to some stock music site where the track was originally from. Still found this video after 11 goddamn years. Jesus. Through some sort of miracle, not only does the website still exist, and with the same logo, but it still has that same track I was referred to all those years ago. After a trip to the Wayback Machine, I found out in a track list PDF that this specific track was written by Rick Rhodes and Linda Lawley. But this really doesn't mean much. If we look in the credits section of the game's README, there's no musician credited at all. Even if we beat the game and see the credits there, there's still no credit. Why do we need 8 laps of this? I'm assuming the devs got lazy or ran out of money and were like, oh shit, we forgot to hire a musician. Quick, download some royalty-free music. That'll work. This stuff was CD quality on the website, and then they went and squished it to hell and back. What even happened here? They could have had the whole soundtrack in full quality and still fit it on the CD, for God's sakes. The whole game is 80 megabytes. So to prove that point, I went and re-exported all of the game's low-quality music in 44,100 Hz and doubled up each mono audio track to stereo just for fun, and it still only came out to 159 megabytes. And that's still less than all of Lego Island's audio. Well, I guess it is only 15 minutes of total music runtime, so it's not really a full soundtrack like I said earlier. But there's no way I can find all these tracks in their original versions. If the devs were just randomly browsing different royalty-free music sites while they were scoping out a soundtrack for the game, there's no way I'll be able to find all the individual tracks, let alone the different musicians that wrote all the songs. The only reason I know about this track is that I heard it in a YouTube video, and I got lucky enough to get a reply explicitly detailing where to find it. That is lucky coincidental chance. But beyond that, I'm out of ideas. This is really the best quality of music we can get. One song at full CD quality audio, if you want to dish out $50, and the rest in Lego Island quality. And unlike Lego Island, this game doesn't have a huge dedicated fan base that can contact the original devs of the game and get the raw music files. This music is just going to be crummy forever, and I really hate that. Lucky for you, back in 2010, I started working on a full transcription of the Asteroid Belt song that I know is the only track you really care about. Well, maybe the Beachway music too. But I never finished the track. Let me know if you want me to finish it. I mean, it's literally only 1 minute long. I mean, I'll do an extended remix or something, it'll be awesome. And since it's royalty free, it's mine, bitch. I'm hoping it will content ID me so I can figure out who the fuck wrote this originally so I can buy it. Maybe that's a strategy to this. Hope for some wild copyright claim. Sue me, please. I need to listen to this in CD quality on loop for like 4 minutes and then move on to something else. Well, I mean, I guess I could ask you guys if you find any of this music familiar. Since it's royalty-free, there's a high chance it was used in other games or TV shows or who knows what else. It's really possible. One time I swear I heard the same music riff in Mythbusters that I also heard in Tonic Trouble. But I'm not sifting through a million hours of Mythbusters to find it. So that's it? Yeah, basically. This game is pretty bland and forgettable unless you remember the
God dang hot dog
stand. I mean, it has no multiplayer, you can beat it with your eyes closed, and it has the worst main menu ever. Why this game has a place in my childhood, I'll never understand. Thanks everyone for watching, and maybe next week we'll tackle an actually good Hot Wheels game. I'll see you next time.